What are the rest?
They are joining the links. They were in the other groups, so
I
they've
can't hear
now.
you. Please speak louder. I can't hear you. You say what?
They have been asked to join this new link, so they are joining. They were in other links.
Hello.
Hello.
But you on via say on via head pen number ma mela siwa.
Yajo.
Ube zene zivela mela kwa chozamo yon play o be facile popo yo le physics e chemistry ngolo gbe platanya practical imo wona rego. Metine me relax pete ogbe. And this morning they call me that he's not feeling well again, so he can't even stand up. That when you want permission, they have me. That to my voice, Obama to my show. So you find me and go there. I'm in the class online, so please.
Okay, you mind.
Which of the link that you were joining before or you don't know this link? If you have better. Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So we are starting. Let's others join. I'm sure you are all procurement students. People are miss up the whole day.
Yes,
They don't know where to go, which class to join. Are you my students?
yes, please, we are your students.
Okay. So we are starting with the step to develop a procurement strategy.
Okay.
Previously, we talked about the foundation of public procurement and we talk about transparency and other things. Today, we want to start on the step to develop a procurement strategy. The first step is to assess the organizational needs and goals. If you want to procure something, you need to assess the organization. What do they need? Identify the short and long-term procurement needs of the organization. You must also align your procurement activity with the overall business strategy of the organization. Specifically in the public sector, a specific unit. Maybe if you work at the Ministry of Health or Ministry of local government or Foreign Affairs, what is the objective of that ministry? So everything that you wanted to do must be in line with that. Engage various stakeholders, that is the finance, the operations, legal and end users units to understand what really needs the need. For instance, if you work in Cocoa Board, you need to look at wherever you work, you must look at the finance department, operations, legal and end users. All of them must be part of the contributors to the that market and supply analysis. This is where you research the market trends, knowing the price, the supply chain risks that are there, and evaluate their capabilities. I hope you can hear me.
Sir, your line is breaking, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very important. So you identify the potential suppliers and evaluate their capability. Technical. That is why you evaluate them. Okay. Do they have the personnel? Do they have the people who will be able to do the work for you? Then you assess the industry regulations and local or international procurement procedures, knowing very well that there are laws and regulations that govern public procurement. You must try as much as possible to align or comply with the necessary regulations within the act. Okay, and what is that act? Ghana is Public Procurement Act and Financial Administrative Act. You need to ensure that you align or comply with all the regulations that are there, and as well as all international procurement proceedings. If it is a World Bank activities, you must make sure that all the guidelines that are provided under the FDIC, under the World Bank system, you follow it accordingly. The next step 3. Step 3 is to define the procurement methods. You must decide on the procurement method you are going to select. This is where you select the most suitable procurement approach based on the need, based on the budget, based on the risk factor. So you don't just go and set the procurement method or select the procurement method, maybe national competitive tendering, sole sourcing, restricted tendering, request for quotation, all those things. You don't just go and select. You select it based on what? The needs. You select it based on the budget. You select it based on the risk factor. So if it is a competitive tendering, competitive bidding, you must open or restricted tendering. They're ideal for what? A high value procurement. You go in for a competitive bidding or tendering, which is open or restricted based on item that you want to procure is a high value procurement. If it's a request for quotation, that is which is suitable for low cost goods and services. Okay, if it's a sole sourcing, it's used when only one supplier available or preferred, or for emergency situations. I will advise you to, last time I told you that to procure the Public Procurement Act as 663 and amended versions, and go to section 40. That talks about all the various procurement methods that you're supposed to be familiar with. In an exam, I can ask you to explain the reason for going for maybe sole sourcing, the reason for going for national competitive tendering. You need to go in and study them. Go to the acts. I told you last time that you should download it or go to the Ghana Publishing Shop to buy the act. Then there could also be, as part of a define the procurement methods, there can be a framework agreement, which is a long-term contract with a pre-qualified suppliers. Government can decide to have a long-term framework agreement with a particular entities. It's a long-term pre-qualified system where the government engage the supplier for a long time by signing a long-term agreement with them. So that is that. There are several methods for you to pursue. It can be competitive tendering, restricted or open. It can be request for quotation, which we said for low value items. It can be sole sourcing, where maybe there is only one preferred supplier available, or for emergency situations, or for national security. Okay. It can be a framework agreement with a long-term contract with a preferred qualified supplier. So any of them, you can use it. The same thing that I'm saying, that you can decide to pursue the same concept, understand the meaning of all these things when you go to the Public Procurement Act with section 40 to explain more. Then the fourth step of what we want to talk about is develop a supplier management strategy. You see, there must be a ways in which you can manage the suppliers, especially in contract administration. How do you manage the suppliers? There must be a way in which you can manage the suppliers in such a way that you get a value for money. Hello, please. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm in class. My follow. One for one. Tell your mama. No problem. Okay. You are well. Please, sorry. Hello.
Yes, sir. It's okay, sir.
Sorry. They say my daughter is not feeling well at Molly, so they were just calling me now. So let me call somebody to sort it out.
Okay. It's all right.
I'm coming. Give me a minute, okay?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Market, Obe Kolokoko, you there, Polly? a clinic.
Polyclinic.
And FFPA, that is Mauli doctor. Every left meet and
I can't hear you all.
I'm saying that they say I've sent your sister to polyclinic. That is more Hope polyclinic. Mama may have a map number, doctor, and number. Okay. So sorry. So the next step is to develop supplier management strategy. Develop supplier management strategy. Okay. How do you do it? This is where you supply qualifications, assess the suppliers based on their technical, financial, and operational capabilities. Okay. Anytime we are talking develop supplier management strategy, this is where you pre-qualify the suppliers based on capability in terms of technical, financial, and operational capability. You can do this further by supplier management system, where you try to do a foster long-term partnership and collaboration. Mind you, this is all about contract management, where you manage relationship, you share risks, and get the benefit thereof. Okay. The other aspects of the developed supplier management strategy is you do evaluation, you monitor the contract executions and key performance indicators to see whether the supplier or the contractors are doing the right work, things to be able to create value for you. So this section is all about contract management. Then the fifth step is to optimize cost management and value for money. Optimize cost management and value for money. How do you go about it? You leverage on the bulk purchasing for cost saving. What do we mean by that? Make sure that you buy in bulk. When you buy more in bulk, you save cost. We learned that concept in economics. Marginal utility returns. The more you buy, the more you minimize cost. You negotiate for better terms to improve cash flows. Okay, you implement a total cost ownership analysis where you consider the purchased price, the maintenance, and disposal cost. All these activities will be done under optimal cost management and value for money principles. Okay, which is the fourth step. I'll ask these things in the exam, these particular steps. The sixth step is to ensure that risk management and compliance are adhered to. How do you go about it? Here you identify and mitigate the procurement risks. Okay, easy. The supplier failure, legal issues, inflations, and all those things that might occur. Ensure the compliance with the national and then international procurement laws with the reference to the Public Procurement Act. If it is a donor-funded project, you adhere to what the guidelines that are being provided so that you'll be able to create value once you comply with the necessary regulations in the Act. You maintain procurement transparency throughout proper documentation and audits. Very, very important. You can best do a transparency if all documents are strictly documented, properly documented, and audited. Okay, it's formed under the insurance risk management and compliance principles. Very, very important. Then the 7 steps is what incorporate sustainability and ethical procurement. It's always very important that we be mindful. We are mindful about the sustainability issues. We expect that whatever that you want to procure is mindful about the environment. Whatever you procure does not end up impacting on the health of the people. It therefore means that your items you procure should be ready to be recyclable, biodegradable, reuse, remanufacture, and all those things. Now, also, you must make sure that you promote local content and supplier delivery. We are expecting that even within the contractor's documents, you must try to see whether they engage the local people to do the work. For instance, you see what's going on now. What is going on now in the hot in the construction that is going on now? You see that they employ the local people, the young people around, to do the work for them. Then you implement environmentally friendly and procurement practices. I've already talked about that one. Ensure that the suppliers comply with the ethical labor standard, fair trade policies within the procurement proceedings, so that you can create value for money. We do not want to joke with what sustainability issues when it comes to public procurement issues. So incorporate sustainability and ethical procurement principles into your procurement dealings. Any question? Number 8, leverage technology for procurement. Advantage of the GITMI system, e-procurement system, to streamline procurement processes. If technology is integrated, you could see that it will be able to help you to be able to minimize risks, especially if you procure a software like blockchain technology. It will be able to help you to prevent fraud. Implement data analytics and artificial intelligence for better decision making, very important. Utilize the blockchain for transparent contract management in your procurement proceedings. And then the 9 steps: monitor and continuously improve your performance. This is where you establish the key performance indicators, such as cost saving, supplier delivery time, contract compliance, so that you can improve along the way. Conduct a regular procurement audit and review, very, very important. This is where you adjust procurement strategy based on the market condition and organizational needs. Very, very important. So I think that is there about 9 steps in developing procurement. There are about 9 steps in developing a procurement strategy. I will definitely ask it in an exam. So yeah, so that you write it. So I think that is that. The first step is to assess the organizational needs and goals. The second step is to conduct market and supply analysis. The third steps is define procurement methods, which we have highlighted that we have several methods: national competitive tendering, sole sourcing, request for quotation, framework agreements can be signed depending on whatever the contract durations. So you can look at all those things. And then the fourth step is to develop supplier management strategy, which I remember I said is all purely about contract administration. And then how to share risks among the parties. Okay. And that is that. Then the fifth one, I said optimal cost management and value for money. How do you do it? That's why I said that you must leverage and bulk purchase. And I mentioned about marginal utility returns, if you follow that principles in economics. And then you must negotiate for better payment terms to improve cash flow, especially the contractor side. Contractors want a situation whereby their money should be paid early. It requires you to know that as a client, you do not have the money. So you should be able to do a proper payment terms so that there can be free flow of cash flow along the proceedings, so that you not shortchange anybody. Also, under that particular column, we said we should practice what we call total cost of ownership, taking into considerations the purchase price, the maintenance, and disposal cost. All should be included in your dealings. There are 6 steps: ensure proper risk management, okay, and compliance. Comply with the necessary regulations, especially the Procurement Act, and then Financial Administrative Act, and other acts or donor guidelines, so that you know funds can easily flow. You can comply with regulations that might be available. And then the 7th step is to incorporate sustainability and ethical procurement system. I explain sustainability in terms of 3 angles: economic, social, and environmental. we expect that whatever you procure should be recyclable, should be reusable, should be can be remanufactured, biodegradable, what do I say? Biodegradable items. We expect today now that even if you procure vehicles, you should not end up emitting gas into the atmosphere. So therefore, we insist that going for electric vehicles and all those types of things. Okay. So the 8-step leverage on technology. Okay, you can take advantage of artificial intelligence and data analytics, blockchain technology, among others, to ensure, especially in Ghana, they have what we call GitMeets system, to ensure you undertake a proper e-procurement system. The ninth step, which is the last one, is to monitor and continuously improve your procurement performance based on key performance indicators. Key performance indicators in the terms of what? Cost, saving, supplier delivery times, and contract compliance. They are the key performance indicators. And conduct regular auditing of your procurement system. Why are we doing that? To ensure that we create value for money and transparency in our procurement dealings. So I think that is that. I said in the exam. Any question? Do you have any question? Hello? You allow me a little talk. Yes. Any question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just a small
If
one.
you can speak louder,
Mine
I can
is
hear
yes.
you.
On this test, so if this question is asked in an exam, can you mix the steps, or you are supposed to arrange it like the way it is over here, sir?
There are processes, there are 6 steps, and you go and miss them. They say step, and you go and miss it. So are you probably and as for instance, if they say step, then you go and write that step 1, monitor continuously and improve procurement performance. What are you monitoring? Once you have not identified the needs. Did you get it?
Yes, please.
And
well,
so you have to follow
sir.
accordingly and chronologically. Something must be done before another one will follow. It's coming live
Okay,
for
sir.
compulsory.
Well
20
noted,
marks.
sir. Yes, please.
If I were you, I'll put asterisk on that side of the slides. Or ask it.
Yes,
You
please.
as a procurement expert, you work in a public organization. Outline and explain the steps to follow to create, in developing procurement strategy. Bam. 20 marks. Is that right?
Well noted, sir.
Great. Let's move to the next one. Key procurement strategy models. Key procurement strategy models. There are strategies should be in your mind anytime you want to talk about procurement. Strategy in terms of what? Cost-driven strategy. Is it your mindset is about to ensure that you focus on cost reduction through a competitive sourcing and negotiation? Okay, that could be your mindset thinking, and you pursue that vigorously throughout your procurement activities. Organization here aim for cost efficiency. That is the mindset. Another strategy could be type is a quality-based strategy. Maybe your organization prioritize high quality goods and services over cost. That could be another strategy another organization is adopting. Okay, here maybe in the healthcare, constructions, and technology procurement, the mindset is about quality. If it is a healthcare, the mindset is about quality. If it is construction, it's quality. If technology, quality. Okay, then risk management strategy. Another particular people or organization will be thinking about, oh, we want to get ensure there is a proper risk management strategy. Here, the focus on minimizing supply chain disruptions. Okay, so for instance, if you work in Ministry of Energy, because of the US led Israel war against Iran, and then for which the Strait of Hormuz has been thought blocked, closed, what will you do if you work at the NPA and then the Ministry of Energy? What will be the policy measures you put in place to be able to mitigate the disruptions of the flow of the petroleum products. The mindset here will be, how do we critically provide maybe a critical infrastructure? That is where you could see the government of Ghana is trying to build. They built a turbo gas, and then Ireland will be building another one too. See, that is a clear risk mitigation strategy the government of Ghana is trying to adopt. Another one is that what do? We make sure that Tama oil refinery is well boosted, so that probably the few oil that we find in Ghana, a clear policy in place that the explorators and that of the let's take a tallow oil and energy and to oil will not take the oil out of the country. It must be refined here. Is it possible? It's all called for a policy dimension to be able to do that. Am I communicating? Your course is a very interesting course. If you understand the concept, you love it. Anyway, then maybe another, in terms of strategy, be thinking about sustainability. Here, incorporating environmental, social responsibility and procurement proceedings. That will be the thinking. So governments, well, the actions that we have to take is the government, and will lay emphasis on corporate social responsibility driven thinking. Okay. Then global sourcing strategy. Here you seek international suppliers for cost advantage and specialized products, which call for large multinational dimensions organizations to come part of the system. So a key strategic model that you think, if you are going to any kind of procurement, it should be in this line, either cost-driven, quality-driven, risk management, sustainability thinking, or global sourcing strategy. Exactly. Hello?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Great. What will be the benefit thereof? You have put a clear step there. You have a clear mindset about this is in terms of strategy where I am going. What will end up to be the benefits? One of the benefits will be what? Yes. Explain them. Vivian Agbado, the first point.
Yes, sir. Cost saving.
So what does that mean? Explain.
Benefits of well-designed procurement. It means if your procurement is well strategized, if you strategize your system very well, the cost that you incur in procuring your items will be lesser than when it is not well programmed.
Next one, Abdul Rashid. Abdul Rashid, the next point.
Yeah, I think this means a well-designed procurement strategy ensures transparency between suppliers and then customers.
Hey, we can't hear you. I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, I said since transparency is clear.
Yeah.
Anas, take the next one, risk mitigation and supply chain resilience.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
The risk is, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, the risk mitigation and supply chain resilience. That one talks about when to comply with the steps very well, you get to know the risk or where to know the risk. When you know the risk, you get to know how to deal with it.
Okay. Compliance with legal and ethical procurement standard. Ofori Oyerebi Michael.
How to deal with the procurement and other pricing.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, go ahead, Ofori.
Yeah, this talks about you being guided by the act when it comes to its legal matters, so you don't you don't go overboard on that instance.
Owusu, enhance efficiency and streamline procurement process.
Yes, sir.
Explain it.
Yes, please. Now, since you followed the legal process, that's following the act to do the purchase and all the procurement, there will be efficiency, there will be things to be done well, and then there is a process that you follow. And then so since things are done in the properly designed strategy, you follow the process. You don't do things on your own, but rather the structures that you have done is what you go ahead with, and you end up succeeding in the procurement process.
Great. So, another one, budgeting and cost estimation in procurement. Budgeting and cost estimation in procurement. It is very important that you do a proper budget or aggregation of cost within your procurement proceedings, right from planning stage to the auditing stage or disposal stage, so that you can create value and control your cost. If you leave things anyhow, people will take advantage and encourage corruptions and fraud within the system. So proper budgeting is very important. Why do you have to do that? One, it will ensure financial feasibility of procurement activities. It will prevent budget overrun and unnecessary expenditure. It will support informed decision making and resource allocation. It will enhance transparency and accountability in procurement and improve negotiation power with your supplier, because you know what is available, where are the sources of funding, how you spend the money, okay, the total cost of ownership. Then you'll be able to, this will be the advantage that, sorry. So the first thing that you need to do is to develop a procurement plan, a budget plan. All you do is that you categorize all the procurement items in terms of capital expenditure and operational cost in various categories. You set a budget limit for different procurement activities. Okay. Allocate contingency fund to address unforeseen expenses that are there. Then you do what we call your approved monitor and budget execution. This is where you have to obtain management approval before you spend the budget or you spend whatever you put there. You have to track your spending against the budget to ensure the financial discipline. Very important. Okay. It is very important that you do all those things. There are steps anyway. Sorry, the steps we are trying to talk about, the steps of budgeting. The first one is what? Identify the procurement needs and prioritize the expenditure. Okay. You estimate the cost and allocate fund. You see that the budgeting also follows certain processes. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Budget,
Yes, sir.
they say budget, procurement budgeting. It follows processes and steps. The first one is to identify procurement needs and prioritize the expenditure. What are you identifying? This is where you define the procurement requirement based on organizational goals. You prioritize the spending based on agency, strategic importance, and availability of the fund. Okay. You estimate, the second one, you estimate the cost and allocate fund. You use a historical data, supplier quotes, market research for accurate cost estimation. Okay. And align the procurement costs with available financial resources that are there. Sorry, there's a mistake. I interchanged the slides here. So you could see that, yeah, that's how it is. I interchanged the slide when I was clicking it. So when you go, if yours is not arranged, rearrange it well, okay?
Okay.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So number C is to develop a procurement plan, a budget plan. This way you categorize the procurement items based on capital expenditure, operational cost. You set the budget limit for each and every one of them based on the activities that are available. Then you allocate a contingency fund, normally from 1 to 10%, align with it. Then you make a provision for unknown. This is where you place a management reserve. Okay. Then you do approve and monitor the budget executions. Don't just allocate funds, you must monitor. Okay. First of all, you obtain permission from the top management to use the money or the budget. Whilst you are doing, you must be tracking how you are spending the money along the way. Okay. So those are the things I should be looking at. Methods for cost estimation. There are several methods that you can use, but we'll look at few of them. We have historical cost analysis. It's a method. What do? It uses the past procurement data to estimate the cost. Normally, in project management, we refer to it as analogous estimating. Analogous estimating based on historical facts. Hello, can you hear it?
Huh?
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then this is normally it is used for routine procurement with a stable pricing that are available. Then another estimation strategy is what we call market-based estimation. Okay, analyzes current market prices and supplier quotes. It's a dynamic market with a fluctuating prices. When there is a market whereby prices of services and goods are not stable, you can use that strategy. Then there is what we call parametric estimation. What is you use statistical model and cost per unit metrics. If it's a construction industry, we can say if you are building a story building, or maybe you are lighting a tiles, a 4-story building, tiles laying, you can see that you get the measurement length times breadth. The total number of tiles you use, you can multiply times 5 if it's a 5-story building. Then you get a total. When you are doing that strategy, you call parametric estimating. Then we come analogous estimating to is also here. Compare a similar past project to predict the cost. And then we have a bottom-up estimation. Estimate costs at the detail level and sum them up. All these things are there. Normally, it is used for complex procurement with multiple components. So cost estimation is to help us to predict the total cost of acquiring the goods, services, or works to ensure financial planning accuracy. That is all about it. But there are several methods to use. This one too can qualify for exam. Okay. However, what are the factors will I consider? The factors to consider if I want to do proper estimating. One, think about the market condition. You agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we'll share it and then you two talk. We start with Elaine. Elaine.
Eileen.
Okay. Why are we considering market condition? Explain before we can estimate.
Okay, so depending on the time and then seasons of things, we need to be very careful on the cost. For example, let's say we have seasons of maybe tomatoes and then all other things. So in those seasons, we need to be careful on probably maybe if we need to increase the price, or maybe in scarcity time we need to save money back and forth, but we need to factor all these things: inflation, exchange rate, demand, how people like it, how people do not like it, the sales, how purchasing and all that, so that that also helps in affecting cost as well.
I see. The next one, Ezekiel.
Yes, sir.
And the next one
Okay.
is yours.
Okay, sir. Okay, so competitive bidding versus sole source. When we are doing competitive bidding, this can affect the price to go down because there are other companies or many companies are bidding. So it could help drive the price down. And also when we are doing sole source and it's just one company we are negotiating with, so it might be difficult to get a lower price because we are dealing with one supplier.
Great. Seraphine, next point.
Okay, so with logistics and transportation costs, you have to consider how much the freight or the shipping cost is going to be, and then if it arrives, if it's something that is going to be overseas, if it arrives, if the item is something that is going to attract duty or taxes, you have to put all those things in consideration to be able to have like a good estimation.
Okay. Isaac. Regulatory and compliance costs. Isaac. Where is he? Who is Isaac Ga? Okay. Michael, take that point. Michael Ayribi.
So this also talks about
Michael Ayribi.
this also talks about the current situation we are having now. So therefore, you will not be able to have a future plan as to how you want to get your things done. Therefore, this also a privilege for you to also know how to arrange your things and have a future as to what you want your cost to be. Besides, there has been a lot of taxes and tariffs affecting the global geoeconomy. So that is it.
Okay. Ga. Technology and innovations. Why do you need to consider it before you factor in your cost? Or estimate your cost? Where is he? Who is Ga? Isaac. Philip Ose Mensah, take that point.
Okay, so with technology and innovation, when we look at using softwares to automate like certain rather than doing manual, it helps drives down cost. And especially when you are tracking spending to and analyze when using software, it helps you to reduce cost and know how to focus more on what would actually benefit the organization.
Okay. I see. Okay. That's good. Budgeting and cost control strategies. There are several strategies you can adopt to ensure that there's effective and efficient budgeting, proceeding, and controlling of your costs. One is use a bulk purchasing and framework agreement. It will help you. I've already said it earlier. Buy more. In a basic way, if you are husband and wife, this month you can decide to take two of you your salary to buy food stuffs. Next 2 months, you will not do that again. You save money. Okay. Reduce unit costs and ensure long-term saving. If you have done using a bulk purchase and a framework agreement. Know that a framework agreement is for long-term contracts. Another strategy is negotiate favorable supplier terms. Very important. Optimize prices and payment terms will help you. It's also a very nice area I can ask questions. Implement cost tracking system. Monitor procurement expenses in a real time. Conduct cost benefit analysis. Justify procurement decision with financial analysis. Okay. Adopt e-procurement system will help you to improve efficiency, transparency, and financial management. All these are measures that you can take as a strategy for budgeting and cost control. Okay. Any question? Okay. Any question? Please. Any question?
No, sir.
Are you sure? Okay. So I think that is what I want to deliver for today. Next time when we meet, we'll be talking about risk. This would have been, yes.
Please, what of the the last weekend one that we missed?
Last weekend.
We couldn't meet. Is it? Were we supposed to do this one before?
Is it not holiday? Are you different from public?
So we didn't prepare lecture notes for us.
They do what?
Okay. Okay, sir.
Do you have the lecture?
Just want to be clear.
Do you have the lecture notes?
Please, just want to be sure if what we were to do the last weekend is what we did today.
But they say it's a holiday. So maybe if today you want
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You want to study, it's procurement. It's a risks.
Okay, sir.
Now, under this particular column about risks is uncertainty that has a likelihood of impacting on your procurement activities. So there's a need for you to identify the risks, analyze the risk, mitigate the risks that will occur or that disrupt your procurement activities. Okay, if you're able to do that, it will help you to control costs, comply with the necessary things that will happen. So there are several importance of procurement risk assessments. It prevents financial loss due to cost overrun and fraud. It also ensures timely delivery of goods and services at works. It improves supplier performance and reliability, enhance compliance with regulatory and legal requirements, and strengthen supplier chain resilience. Very important. There are key procurement risks and mitigation that you have to be aware of. What are they? The procurement risks are supplier risks, cost and budget risks, compliance and regulatory risks, operational risks, quality risks, logistics and delivery risks, fraud and corruption risk, environmental and social risks. There are various descriptions and strategies to mitigate them have been put aside there. So you have to read them. Okay, for instance, if you say environmental and social risks, what do you do as a strategy? You source from ethical suppliers and implement great procurement practices. If you say cost and budget risk, what do? You fix a price contract and market price monitoring and cost estimation models. If you say compliance and regulatory risks, train staff on procurement laws, and conduct compliance audits and maintain proper documentations. If it is a quality risk, what do? You define quality standard, conduct inspections, implement penalties for non-compliance. Rashid, is your hands up? Rashid, do you want to say something? Okay. If it is a logistics and delivery risk, What do you
Please,
do?
my
You
hands
develop-
wasn't up.
Okay. You develop contingency plan, track shipments, and work with a reliable logistics provider. So all of them are there with the key strategy to adopt to mitigate them. You can read them. You can read them. Okay, as we move along. There are steps in what? Procurement risk management. One is what? Identify the risk. Two, analyze, assess the risk impact and probability. Three, develop risk mitigation plan. And four, monitor and review the risks continuously. You can study it. It's just simple. If you are identified, you conduct market risks and supply and assessment, analyze past performance and risk patterns. We can use tools such as Ishikawa diagram or cause effect diagram to be able to identify the various risks. You can even use Pareto analysis, 80 to 20% rule to identify the risks. You can also use affinity diagram or mind mapping. You don't know all this. I'm now talking a high level now in master states. So there are several ways in which you can identify the risk. The primary one that you people know is survey. Okay. So that is these are the various steps that you can take to do a proper risk assessment. Risk assessment metrics can be done, for instance, based on the veracity of the risk, severity of the risk. Supplier risks, we can say likelihood of occurring, impacts, risk likelihood level, and then a mitigation plan. So you can have various types of risks and the likelihood of it occurring and the impact. Okay, we can do risks. Risks is all about calculations. It means the likelihood and the impact. That is risk assessment. So I think that is that. Best practice for risk management is to establish a risk management team. Very important. Use data analytics and AI, artificial intelligence, for risk predictions and monitoring. You can develop business continuity plan. You can also have open communication with what? Suppliers, and then international procurement best practices can be adopted as a best ways of managing your risk. So I think that is that. This one is not many, that's why I'm just rushing. So next time when we meet, take notice of the risk management steps and then the various type of risks and then mitigation measures. These two things can be asked in an exam. The key risks and mitigation measures and the steps. Is that right? Any question? The lady who asked the question, are you satisfied now? Are you satisfied now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If no question, yes.
Sir, please can you kindly go over what you said? It can easily be asked in an exam, so we jot it down whilst we
I've already indicated it. I've already indicated
yes, you said the
the
risk management
column.
steps. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
The steps,
you mentioned
and then the steps, and then the various key risks and the mitigation measures under that particular slide. Each of the slides I said, I indicated what to come. Have I not been doing that?
You have been doing that.
Great, because I love all of you. I don't want anybody to have Felicia or Dinah. The minimum should be Cecilia. And then what we want all of you to get should be Agnes or better. These are the names of the grading. A is Agnes, B is better, C is comfort, C is comfort, D is Dinah, F is Felicia. On this note, they're moving out and are coming and we soak in the blood of Jesus. Thank you, Lord, for their life. In Jesus' mighty name we prayed. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.